Welcome to the Ill Informers. I'm Elyott. I'm here with Darren and Nash.
Don't
Good
say
to
my
be
name.
here. How's it going? Don't say your name.
Excellent.
You're on the podcast. You want to be associated with this?
It's undecided. I have to consult with my lawyer and my family.
Yeah. Do you have enough money to battle the incoming lawsuits you're going to experience?
From this?
Defamation lawsuits? Yeah.
I think I'm incorporated, so I'll be fine.
Yeah.
God willing, we're big enough that we get some problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it bad that I just want to succeed enough where people hate me? When people get like hate online, I'm like, oh, that must be so nice to have that type of
I think that's when you
Following.
know.
attention, really.
Yeah, but that's when you know you can't do anything on. You haven't reached enough people if you're not getting at least some blowback. Like you have to. That's a good signifier. If you're just getting all love, you have 3 followers and they're all your mom.
Yeah.
Do you know what has the most dislikes?
Mm-mm.
It's children's music. Like Elmo, Sesame Street has like 100K downvotes. I'm like, who the heck is downvoting this?
Those sad parents who get that little
That's-
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, sad parents who like this is their hundredth time watching it, and they're like, I can't take it anymore, man. And then they pushed it down. Like that's the crazy to me. How can you hate on Elmo?
Well, what about does Barney rightfully get the hate? Because I do remember that was like, I mean, it was a little bit before, but Barney, people wanted to assassinate him. There was people walking around with elephant guns trying to kill Barney.
Did you ever see that Elmo documentary?
Oh, it was great.
No.
Yeah, I liked it.
What was it about?
It was about the guy that plays Elmo and came up with Elmo, but it's more about his like life and his poor wife. He's like obsessed with Elmo. And he would record everything. I think since then he's got arrested for pursuing
Yes.
children. I think.
I'm not going to defend a groomer, but he was like, but he did. He hooked up with but I think he was like 24, and he fell in love with a 16-year-old young man, and they had a consensual relationship. But then everyone was like, let's cancel him.
Okay, I didn't look into it at all. I just remember the headlines. But his poor wife, he's like at the time was pregnant, going into labor, and he recorded everything. So he had a camera, and he's talking to her like walking to the car in labor as Elmo, being like, "Oh, I'm so excited! We're gonna have a baby!" And she's like, "Just put the fucking
Elmo
camera
loves
down.
babies.
Drive me to the hospital."
That's amazing. That sounds like so much fun. Who would want to be married to the guy who just?
You're pushing. You're like pushing, and her legs are up in like a stirrup, and then just Elmo just pops up. Hi.
He sounds very close to a psychotic break if he's doing that. Like is ventriloquist the same as a puppeteer? Pretty much, right?
Yeah. To be fair, I was thinking that ventriloquists have been hit the hardest in COVID with the masks.
Oh yeah.
Just it's game over.
Terry
sounds like Elmo's underwater.
Yeah.
He's drowning now.
Actually, oh, did you just mean Nash because anyone can be a ventriloquist now?
Yeah, your mouth is covered. So what's the point now?
That's great.
They couldn't see their lips moving before, but now they really can't. It's kind of interesting that it's now totally that whole art form is completely.
Do you guys ever get those cashiers that when they talk, nothing moves on the top half of their face, and so you don't know if they talk to you or not?
That's me. That's how I function in
society. It throws me off so bad. I'm like, because sometimes you just hear like a "Hey, how's it going?" Like "Hey, how's your day going?" And you're like, I don't know if you were the person that said that.
Is it?
And then you respond, and then they don't move.
They don't even
say anything.
It looks like I'm wearing a wig.
No eye smile, no nothing. Their eyes, nothing looks like they moved on their face. It just looks like sound came out, right? But nothing.
I thought Nash was going to do Jordy impression from
my Cyclops.
Next Gen.
Trying to find some jokes.
How is your eye smile? I think
you gotta do the eyebrows too.
My serotonin is too low to do any of that.
Need more kava.
I need to stretch. How's
I was
everybody?
watching that. I was watching.
No, go
Cecil.
ahead. Go
I was watching-
ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was watching Cecil.
Go ahead, please. Elyott, just
I was
go.
watching Cecil. I was
I'm
watching the
actually
Cecil
going to let you
Hotel.
now. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
I was watching the Cecil Hotel. It's on Netflix. I don't want to give away too much, but it's pretty much about like Skid Row and a hotel on Skid Row in LA, and it's about this girl who goes missing.
From Vancouver.
That's all I'm gonna
right?
say. From Vancouver, yeah,
Mhm.
from UBC, and it's pretty creepy, but just like the hotel itself. I just want to talk about the hotel because I don't want to give away the show. But most people probably know. But it's
Is it a murder
creepy.
mystery?
Yeah, pretty much real life
So it's
murder
like-
mystery, but
It's like Clue in a giant hotel.
sure.
Okay.
But like,
No?
there's no murder weapon. There's no murder weapon.
Oh, okay.
So it can't be like Clue. But yes,
It's
pretty
Mr.
much.
Peacock with the rope in the drawing room, in the one hotel room that looks like all the other hotel rooms.
In 14B.
I haven't watched the show, so I don't know anything about it. But tell me.
I just want to talk about the hotel. Like the hotel is in Skid Row, and it just has like murderers there. It has like they had the what do you call him? The Night Stalker. He would just like after he murdered somebody, he would just go there like drenched in blood, and then just walk up the stairs naked, just covered in blood, and people would just be like, "Ah, it's Cecil Hotel. What are you gonna do?"
Really? That's crazy. I just watched
yeah.
that documentary.
Yeah, so that's where he was staying, was in
Oh.
this hotel. And
Who
it's
is the
just, like,
Night Stalker? Isn't that Jake Gyllenhaal?
Oh, good. Yeah, good call. That was a great movie.
That's
Mhm.
the news one, but this is the killer.
Yeah.
It's a different person.
Oh. I can't. I had to stop listening to murder podcasts and murder stuff. I went through a period where that's like all I watched was, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And my faith in humanity was so depleted. I just couldn't do it anymore. I was like, so any murder stuff, I'm just like, no, I don't want. If my wife's like, yeah, let's put on, she watched the Cecil Hotel, and I was like, I'm out. See you later. Not gonna watch it.
Yeah, it does make you think like it's pretty easy to become a murderer. Like you could get away with some murders for a while pretty easily.
Is that a
Very good.
challenge?
Well, I'm just saying, like, when you watch these shows, like these aren't smart people. These are like weird people. You just went off the deep end, but they're not that smart, and they're still getting away with it. It's like the same with cars. I always worry about when I'm driving that someone else is gonna like just like, have a bad day and they're gonna crash their car. But then it still works. Most people are
Yeah.
good. And driving, yeah, I don't know.
Just refuse the death impulse for another commute or whatever the death drive for one more commute.
I think it
I'm
used to be
hoping other
easier-
people are, yeah.
It used to be easier to, I think. I read Devil in the White City.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, it was
The
such a
book
good.
was good. Yeah.
They kind of tricked me. I thought it was just mostly about this serial killer guy, but it's also equally, probably more so about the Chicago World's
Yeah.
Fair. But that guy had a hotel too that he like conned into and then made like the top floors like rooms to nowhere, rooms that just drop right to the basement, and he just he killed a lot of people.
And they have no idea how many people he killed. And his hotel was like he had just had reams of workers through and then fire them. So no one was putting it together like, oh, he's building a kill room in the basement. He just had because then he'd fire that crew and hire new people.
Yeah, he had a crematorium in the basement. He's like Batman. That's how Batman built the Batcave.
Yes. Yeah.
A little bit at a time, and then But the crazy part about that was that I found because back in the day he started working for the pharmacist that worked down there.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't a pharmacist, but he pretended to be. And then the old lady that owned the pharmacy and the whole building befriended her. And then he killed her, obviously, but she's just like, oh yeah, she left. She just went upstate. Here's a note saying that I can run everything and that now I'm in charge. Yeah. But she just went upstate, but here's a note from her. And then everybody's like, oh, okay, you could just go like 4 hours away and nobody, you just disappear basically and no one would know the difference. And he just kept doing that. Like he had a wife that just like, oh, she went upstate. I have all her stuff now. And then that's how he got caught eventually because one of his wives' sisters or something hired a detective
Yeah.
to find it. What happened?
But it seems like a lot of that stuff was easy to get away with back then. Like all that bank robberies in the 20s, like Bonnie and Clyde and John Dillinger and all those guys. You just would walk into a bank and just say, "Give me all your money," and then you just drive one town over and just go back to farming peas or whatever, and everyone would be like, "I don't know who did it, no idea. Did you take fingerprints? What are those? DNA evidence doesn't exist."
You get some of that. What was the name of this killer?
Oh, I forget. He had a good name.
What's the show?
It's called Devil in the White City. It's a book.
But yeah.
Oh.
But I think there's a movie.
You want me to read?
That's like the only book I've read.
Ugh.
There's
Leonardo DiCaprio has been attached to a movie.
Yeah.
About it for a while, I think.
But I found the World Fair stuff it was very compelling, like his story about being the murderer. But the World Fair parts of the book, like every other chapter, was super interesting too.
Yeah.
And they just that was Chicago's like big fuck you to New York. They're like, "You don't think we're a real city? We're gonna have a World's Fair."
And that's where the Ferris wheel came from.
Yeah.
That's what I took from that book. Because that was their really?
Yeah.
Instead of the Eiffel Tower, that was the big Paris World Fair like reveal. So they wanted a big fuck you to Eiffel too. And then this guy named Ferris had this wheel design, and they sketchily built it out of wood.
Ferris Bueller made it.
Yeah, I was gonna say his great grandson is known for skipping school one day in a very grand fashion.
With great charisma.
That's right. The Pabst Blue Ribbon, that was like the beer that won at the World's Fair. It got a blue ribbon and won, and they're like, "Great," and then that was where it came from. PBR. We've never looked back since as a society.
They never tried to improve it. They just like, this is good enough.
Well, it's the World's Fair.
Have you guys ever stayed in a creepy hotel?
Yes.
Yeah. Travel Lodge, downtown Victoria.
We went to Vegas one time and we had a Groupon.
Oh God.
In hindsight, we're like, the pictures look great. And it was off the strip. That's a big no-no.
All fisheye lens photos?
No, but it seemed nice, and we're like, this is just off the strip. So we just had it there for one night, and then our first night there. And then we got there, and it was like, it wasn't like dirty or gross. It was just like kind of trashy, and like, it seemed like it was like all purples, and the lobby was like weird. And then we got to the hotel, I'm like, this is just for fucking people for money. Like, it was freezing cold. There was no blankets. There's no blankets on the bed. You had to ask. Yeah, there's just no sheets. It was just like, I think you got a sheet. It was just for fucking. Like, there was no blankets. And then we just started looking at reviews, and we're like, oh my God. And then so we stayed one night there.
Wait. If you're gonna fuck at a hotel, don't you want a comforter? Come on. You're gonna get cold.
I think there's a different type of comforter.
That's the you gotta put the whole room inside a Ziploc bag, not just the remote control. You're like, ooh,
yeah, I had to get in a Ziploc. We were like, this is not good. And then we stayed the night, and then we left promptly the next day. ASAP. It's one of those, it's when it's so bad you don't complain or make a scene, you just take it, and then you're like, okay, this is on me.
We'll learn a lesson.
Yeah.
I remember staying in a motel once. We were coming back from Disneyland home, and there was a snowstorm, and we couldn't go through the mountains. So we had to like just find wherever we could go. And the only place that was left was this motel, and it was the most garbage motel I've ever stayed in. There's 7 of us, and there's one bed, and it was not even like a good bed. It was like terrible. I'm pretty sure the radiator made noise all night, like it was like it haunted. The bathroom leaked just constantly, just like a drip, 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 drip. And
the whole bathroom was leaking?
Yeah, pretty much. The ceiling was leaking, but we couldn't go anywhere because there was no other motel.
That's where those kind of motels really shine, in the sort of like moments where they're like, oh, everywhere else was booked up. We've got a room. Come on in.
That's what motel means.
That's right.
Last resort.
That sounds. I used to I used to work out in the bush for a summer, like in the interior, and
for physical fitness.
yeah, just go out in the bush and just do CrossFit training in the woods. No, I worked for like a buddy of mine had a company.
Like in Rocky and Rocky 4.
Right, yeah.
We just went out raw there. Eggs and splitting wood.
We just tried to stumble across grow operations and then rip them off. So so that was we'd stay in these motels in places like Barrier and all these like small little like towns where basically people who are criminals and don't want to be found, like Midway and stuff like that, go and hide out and stay at a motel there. And they weren't creepy so much as you just realize you're like, oh, this is that people live there. That's their house. You're like, the guy's room is like, it's fully set up and he's got bookshelves and he's got stove and everything. And, he's got a hammock out front of his room. And you're like, oh, like, this isn't just, you're not here for 3 nights on your way through to Banff to go to the Banff Springs Hotel. You're like, you're here forever. And then I'd buy meth and then quickly scamper away.
Yeah, hammock outside your room, that's a dream.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
I stayed in a lot of hostels in Europe that were kind of weird, but they're just old and when the floors are sinking in and like it's pretty grungy, but what you're getting into.
Hostels are pretty fun. Like that's a good party vibe generally. Like I couldn't stay at a hostel now. But
I'm not a hostel person. I'm not a hostel person. That's what I learned. We're not hostel people. We're like
not in my experience, Elyott.
That's right.
We are hotel room by ourselves, secluded kind of people. We don't mingle. We're not mingling.
You don't like try to fuck in a 6-bunk bedroom.
we stayed in a gross hotel in Maui.
We do like to do that, but
I've never experienced cockroaches before, but it was gross. And then we moved. There was like a super nice hotel, and then they had the old original hotel, and that's where we were staying. And then
they're like, "Would you like to stay in this retro hotel? Come on over."
I was like, "Oh, this is way cheaper, and it's still in the water." Okay, and it's just like cockroaches. They were like, "Yeah, there's a lot of cockroaches." They're like, "Yeah, we know." Like, oh, okay, can we move? Sure.
What kind of cockroaches? Because there's the big ass like.
They were the small ones.
Cockroaches, and then there's little red orangey cockroaches, which are yeah.
I prefer the small ones, I think, over the big one. I've never seen a big one like that.
Nah.
Can't handle the big ones.
No,
not this boy. No way, dude.
No, we used to have a stove that this place that I lived in this house, and you would turn on the stove, and it was a cockroach motel. The stove was, because as you turn on to make your cheese toasties or whatever, and the cockroaches would just pour out of the stove. Then you'd cook your meal, turn the stove off, and it would cool down, and then they would go back into
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And look, in retrospect, that was a terrible idea. I probably should have moved, but the meth was great. So
not as good as the cheese toasties, though.
They were worth it to see all. That's disgusting. That's disgusting, Darren.
I know.
You're just like, I'm gonna live with this. I'm not gonna try to find a solution. I'm not gonna try to make this better. I'm just gonna be like, accept it. I guess that's the Zen way. The Zen way is if you have cockroaches in your house, just accept it.
Yeah. Provide accept your biosphere and don't mess with it. Don't. And there's just this point. There's just this place like you can't get rid of them. Like people would just be like, there's no you could bomb your house and get rid of them, but they'll be back in a couple months. Like you just have to learn to acceptance, I guess, Elyott. Exactly. The Zen way forward.
Right. It's like rats and living by the water. We used to live by the water in town, and there's just rats in our attic. Sometimes our walls. My landlord was really bad. He'd be like, "You want to go check the traps?" I'm like, "No. You can hire somebody to come check the traps."
Yeah. Are you gonna knock $100 off my rent?
Yeah. I was like, "There's no way." Yeah. But like the attic one time, we those like pushy things.
Mhm.
Push up the egg. We pushed it up, and just a giant dead spider fell on my face. And then I'm like, I'm never going up there.
At least it was
Ever.
dead.
Yeah, but what killed it? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, a bigger spider. That's what you're.
Yeah. Or even something worse, time.
Yeah, I once set a trap for a mouse, and it caught the mouse, and then I didn't check it fast enough, and there was just like maggots all in it, and I'm like, oh, this is the worst thing ever.
So you're not not a live trapper kind of guy.
No, and this guy says he's not a hostile guy.
Yeah.
You snap that mouse's neck right away, instant death. You don't glue them. You don't glue them down. Who glues them down like that's more humane? Oh, I just want to make them sticky. I want to make them so sticky that they can't move forever, and then slowly over a long period of time, several days, they dehydrate themselves until they finally die, glued to a sticky adhesive.
I mean,
oh, that's so humane.
In our own way, aren't we all kind of glued to our own sticky thing? Just slowly wasting away on our 4x6-inch sticky pad.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I want them to take poison so that their veins turn inside out and they bleed into their own orifices. That's what I want to do.
Was it us that were talking about this with the rat poison? We already talked about this.
I've lived in a lot of places that have had a lot of infestations. I've realized.
We had ants. For the first couple of years in our current place, we had ants. Not bad.
Ants are a dream. Yeah, a dream.
But ants are impossible to get rid of, though. Like they always come back.
I kind of respect ants. Yeah, we tried cinnamon.
They're just humble, hardworking.
Yeah, they're just hustling. Getting more work than I'm doing. Like
9 to 5 grind.
Yeah, there's an easy trail. It's not like they're just surprised. They have like a path they go through. Mm-hmm. So I tried the cinnamon and the little traps to the food trap things.
Mm-hmm. It's also fun to mess with their path. Like if you swipe your finger across their path, they like have to like go around it.
Why they can't go across where your human smell is?
They lose the scent.
Elyott has really gnarly, stinky fingers. Even the ants are like, no, we'll eat this dead bug carcass, but this guy's fucking stinky finger.
No, I have such clean fingers that I absorb the scent.
Right.
Yeah. Their whole path is scent based. So if you mess up the scent, they can't follow the path.
With your stinky fingers.
Good. I'm trying to get some Attenborough style learning here, Nash. Come on.
The Elyott Ryan runs his stinky fingers across the ant path, disrupting their flow.
I can imagine it now in multi-vivid color.
Not entirely hostile by nature, the Elyott Ryan's stanky fingers make their way into all sorts of people's paths.
Yep,
that's pretty great. If you do use a glue trap, though, the thing that I would not like is people have to step on them. That's what people are like. Oh, you get a.
During the day, he sorts celery and oranges, and then by night, he tries to make people giggle. As if they don't, but if they get too close to his stanky fingers. Okay, that's it. I'm sorry.
That's all right. What's the largest thing you've ever killed?
Besides a human?
That's the greatest question I think that.
Besides a human, that definitely has to be besides a human, and besides a fish. Fish don't count. It has to be mammal-based animal.
Spoken like a true psychopath. I think our last dog was pretty big. That technically I paid to have killed.
You trapped him. You went to the vet and you're like, I don't want the lethal injection. I want you to put out a glue trap and just.
Yeah, I brought my own. I just laid out like a picnic blanket. Well, when you put a dog down, you have to kill it.
Yeah.
What?
You didn't do that yourself,
don't. Though. You just put it down on the ground, right?
Yeah, and then you watch somebody that you paid.
You bury it alive.
$600 at 10 p.m. at the emergency vet to then murder your dog in front of you. That's probably the biggest thing I've killed. Yeah.
I paid to have our cat put down too. That's the thing where I thought I was like, this cat, I was like, there's no way. The cat's sick. I'm doing the most humane thing. Everything will be fine. I'll do this. I was like, told the rest of my family, I'm like, you're all a bunch of pussies. You have to stay home. Dad will go and take care of this. Went into the vet. She's like, you want to spend some time with it? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. That's fine. Bald like a baby. I'm like, ah! What?
Now who's the pussy, huh?
That's right. Went home. They're like, how was it? I was like, it's fine. I did the humane thing. No
Just
crying.
crying about something else. Springsteen song on the radio on the way here.
Yeah. Elyott, what's the biggest thing you killed?
Yeah, put him down.
A fish.
A fish.
No fish. Fish don't count.
That's the biggest thing. Either a rat or a fish.
Okay.
You put down the rat? Like you killed it?
That's right.
With my bare hands.
Wow.
Really?
Step to me.
Kate always tells a story about, and her sisters tell a story about their dad cornering a rat in their garage and shooting it with a gun when they were younger. They're all like traumatized by it.
Was he drunk? I hope he was drunk.
No, he's just an efficient
Killer.
guy. Yeah, he just no nonsense.
He
doesn't
I'm
hesitate.
going into the garage. Going into the garage, you guys.
He has his ghillie suit on, just like full ghillie suit.
But it's like with it's like hoses and like garage apparel, like a bucket and a half a shovel.
What's that big gun? What type of gun? Like a real gun or like a pellet gun?
I think like a 22. Yeah, like it's a real gun.
Oh,
Wow.
22 is not a real gun, but
Yeah. That's how 22 is what people use the mafia for an up close. Just because it'll
sounds like a
enter
real
the
gun to me.
skull, exit the skull, so it just bounces around inside.
Yeah,
I'm more of like a 50 caliber guy, you know, Desert
That's
Eagle.
Desert Eagle against a rat. Right. They're like the home repair bill is gonna be, because you just picture him like, their garage must have been like, I just picture the only garage I've seen, nice car inside there, and then just massive holes all over the place.
It looks like Berlin in 1942.
Yeah, that seems like the least efficient way to kill the rat.
I just want to just start the car and leave for a bit.
Did he get the rat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But his daughters were traumatized.
Yes, they're all very gentle, very loving, animal-loving people. And
were they in the garage at the same time?
No.
Okay.
So, get in the basement! Get in the basement! No.
I like that. That's quite.
My son. We've been doing Nerf guns, and my son has like deadly aim. He's so good at it already. And I'm like, I'm impressed. I'm like, don't want to get in a Nerf war with you.
God, killer. I think it's in us. Did you guys ever do the axe throwing? You ever tried that?
Not yet.
Yeah.
No.
It's
It was
really
pretty big.
surprising. Yeah, it's so fun. But after 5 minutes, you're hitting bullseyes. It's crazy.
Oh, really? That was your experience?
That was my experience.
What a humble brag.
Yeah.
And what everybody I was with was doing it too. I don't know. But I guess I thought that was everybody's experience.
Yeah,
my tribe is very capable.
With a logging crew from the woods.
It's easy when you have such big thighs to propel it.
It's true. It all comes from the hip. It's like golfing, baseball, bucking.
Mm-hmm.
I think. I'm sure.
That's what I was blunt end every time. Bam. Bouncing off. It's like, God, there's a cage on there. I was like, but the thing about it that's very is I was watching everyone do it for about 15 minutes, and then you get so annoyed with everyone being terrible at it, and I'm like, this is so, like, in my head thinking, just give me one. It's my turn now. This is going to be so easy, and then you realize after you almost decapitate a couple of people, you're like, oh no, this is way harder than it looks.
So maybe it's just your genes because you were watching your children do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be it. That's actually, perfectly. You're naturally terrible at this, kids. Look, watch Dad.
This is where you don't get it from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize how much of a humble brag that was, but
Do you feel guilty passing on bad genes, Darren?
No, yes, yeah, I do. No, I don't. No, I don't care. They could do better than their dad. That's the whole hope when you have children is you're like, okay, you guys have time on your side. You're young. Do more with this than I have. You're like, come on.
Like Nash, what if your kids come out and they're like 90% thigh, and they're like,
That's
like
my
this
worry.
tiny
I would-
tiny little arms, tiny little head, and just thigh.
That's my
It's like-
worry is that they're going to
it's
be
like
better than
KFC
me. I
chicken.
don't want them better than me. I still want to win. Coming out all thighs.
I'm having children so I can rig the contest.
So I can beat them and then somebody to play
Yeah.
drums with me. That's all I really want. I just want a drummer. Yeah, they don't have to pay. That'd be nice.
They could also move all the equipment for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like a built-in roadie / drummer. Is that?
Yeah, / lawnmower /
That's actually the kid's name's gonna be Roadie.
Roadie. Roadie Thunderthighs Park. Yeah.
That's quite
I
good.
mean, speed skater or like, yeah, they could do whatever. With
That's
great
the name?
time, great responsibility.
Professional cruncher or whatever that thing is called when you lift up that heavy. What is it? Deadlifter.
Squats?
Yeah.
Deadlifter. Or watermelon crusher. You guys ever tried that?
No.
No.
No, I did.
I feel like I could find some pretty hot videos of people crushing watermelons in there.
That's the thing I didn't realize, because in researching it, I was like, in one of my manic up states, I was like, let's fucking do it. Let's go. So we went to the grocery store and I picked out a watermelon and I brought it home.
Yeah.
And I was doing research and then I was watching all these like super fit girls crush watermelons. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize this was a thing.
I just pictured
inside me. I couldn't do it.
OnlyFans. You couldn't
I saw
do
that
it?
video. Ding ding, thank you. You sent me a cantaloupe. Ding ding, thank you. MX Tune 78 crush.
Yeah, crushing oranges and stuff. Yeah, I couldn't. I think the key in watching the videos after my attempt, you got to pick the right watermelon. I picked one that was too ripe.
Like a watermelon that's been out in the field for 90 days, past the due date.
Like that has a little give, and then like kind of like an yeah. So I think if I did it again, I would do it.
Let's do it again. We gotta film this.
Yeah.
I'll set up 3 cameras. We'll do this from every angle.
Yeah, it was hard. It's kind of like, it also like hurts your, kind of gives you like a snake bite in your thighs,
right.
because you're squeezing, which I didn't anticipate.
What were you wearing jeans, or were you just in short shorts? Or
The tight jeans I wear would not allow for the flexibility required to crush a watermelon. It's always shorts.
Is it a quick leg hold trap snap, or is it just a slow, steady
it's like a vice. It's like this. It's like jujitsu. So you get your legs, your ankles crossed, and then outside with I had like a garbage bag laid down.
And you failed to
Crazy cleanup. Yeah, it would suck because in my manic state, I was like, "This is gonna be the best thing ever! Film it!"
I think you could do it. I think just you should be training for this over the next 9 years of COVID.
I'm pretty confident I can do it now with the right watermelon and everything I learned. I think it might help to stand up too, maybe a little bit, get a little of that core in there.
Do you think you could come back though from 2 failed watermelon attempts?
That's why I believe I could do it, because there's no other choice. It's like Bruce Wayne in the pit with no rope.
You gotta do it.
Yeah.
Do or die.
Whatever. I forget what what's that?
I like that. I think you could do the. I think you should set it up. Subscribe to the Phil Jackson kind of school of watermelon crushing. Get every day in the gym, squats, and go. Yeah. Can you preface it with a montage video of you training? Would be great too.
With like breaking oranges and then apples and
cantaloupe, honeydew,
ripe avocado.
Doing squats and short shorts.
Bottles of shampoo. I'm trying to think what else.
OnlyFans, I think you could mail out Nash thigh prepared fruit salads to people. They'd pay big money for that.
Or what you do is you could do what you could do is you could start filling like water balloons with paint, and then like smash them over a canvas, and then it's like thigh art.
Yeah.
It's the
This
thought.
Is that what did you call it? Thart?
Thart.
Okay.
I think you could make a killing. I think you could make more than your coffee that you're making right now.
Dude, that's not going to be that hard. Yeah.
Oh.
Just not losing money. Yeah, even if I spent $800 on a watermelon, I'd still be ahead.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
No, I'm inspired now. Let's you got a camera, right? What kind of lens you got on there? We could film it from a distance, socially, you know. You get sick deals on watermelons too, probably.
Can you?
Although it's all organic, so it's not in season right now. But I'll have to go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's like $10 for a mini watermelon right now.
That's a mini.
That's okay.
Maybe I'll do two.
The structural integrity of the mini is you need to start with the oblong one because you get that center sweet spot where it's weaker.
Yeah, a little weaker. And we'll get an artist to draw Darren's face on there.
Oh, great. I'm paying for that. Ding, ding.
It's just you off camera with the bell.
I think that's great. Put it behind a paywall though. Put it behind a Patreon paywall after this app. Drop this episode. Be like, you want to watch Nash smash things with his thighs. Yeah.
Will it crush?
This is coming awfully close to Elyott and I exploiting Nash to make money.
Dude, I'll take it. Whatever.
Isn't that what
works.
this podcast is?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely murder somebody, I think. I had a friend in high school, that was his signature move, was like the thigh squeeze. Anytime we were tussling or got in a physical altercation, he would, it was brutal. He'd get you around the abdomen. It hurt so bad. He whooped everybody in the wrestling class because he would just pull up and get people to tap.
I always did like the on the back neck squeeze.
Oh yeah.
That's my move because I'm so small.
But in social studies, like there wasn't even gym.
Yeah.
That was the only way.
To a girl. Becky didn't know what the fuck was happening to her.
Yeah.
I just picture him trying to shake Elyott.
Can't do it. I'm so small.
It's like wearing a cape. It's like wearing a little cape. That's what Elliott's like on the back of you. Kind of blowing in the wind.
It's like an Ewok is on your back.
Bone cape.
Like when you're, it's like when your toque falls in your hood and you can't quite get it. Like that's the equivalent of.
Is someone choking me, or is it just like the breeze?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Or did I just accidentally eat an almond?
Tight necklace.
Am I going to an anaphylactic?
Yeah. That'd be fun. We should wrestle too, Elyott. Do you want to do that?
Ding, ding, ding. There you go.
What wrestle in the watermelon juice after you?
What about like I'm blindfolded or something? We give you a.
I'll wrestle you one-on-one, straight up.
I think my money's on Elyott, actually, to be honest. And Nash, I'm sorry, you look like you're genuinely hurt, but I'm like, Elliott's trained. He's boxed. He's done a bunch of other stuff, and I feel like you've been too busy talking about what you're listening to on Spotify with your toque to train. I mean, but Elyott, if you
wait, okay.
I was trying to.
What was the Spotify? How was that an insult?
I was trying to think of whatever. I was trying to be like you're too busy being, listening to, I was going to say like Blink 182, but I realized that's not a cool band anymore. If it ever was.
Fucking mouth.
But Elyott, you do have to be careful. You got to stay away from those thighs because if he locks you in those thighs, you're toast.
I'll turn you
But if
into
it's just
jelly. I'll turn you into
Yeah.
jelly and spread you
He
on
does.
toast.
He does have like 80 pounds on me. Like it's not that fair.
At
But
the most, how much? What are you at now? What do you?
79
133,
pounds.
bitch.
What? God.
Yeah, we
You
can.
weigh as much as one of Nash's thighs.
I saw. Wait. I saw a missing persons post
Mhm.
for like it was like a 11-year-old, and the 11-year-old weighed 140 pounds,
Yeah.
and I was like, that person weighs 7 pounds more than me at 11. I felt so bad for myself. I
Yeah,
didn't
you
care about
should.
the missing
You
kid.
should.
I was like, fuck him.
It's disgusting how
He-
little you weigh. Are you ever concerned about the wind?
No, I'm not that big of a person, so like if I was taller, I'd be more worried.
Right, but if you accidentally turn sideways, though, you're just gone.
Yeah, those grates downtown. Gotta be careful.
Yeah.
He's like a piece of plywood on a windy building. If you catch him at the right angle, you've got a kite. You've got an Elyott kite. Tie a piece of string to him. That's one of your wife's favorite activities. Or if you go with your kids, hey, let's go fly a kite. You tie a string around Dad's waist, and he just goes like this.
Like a little flying squirrel.
Yeah.
Good for you, Elyott. That's good. Good for you.
I've tried to gain weight. Doesn't happen. It's impossible.
Have you just tried not just constantly eating cake? Or chips seem to help for me.
I would lose weight.
Yeah.
I would lose weight.
Yeah.
So much diarrhea. I'm immune to gaining weight. I can't do it.
I think that means you're sick, but
but
I like your positive spin.
I think that means
really
cancer. I think that means you probably have gallstones.
You also, how much weight do you want him to put on that frame? I mean, he's got he's 4'6". He's got a petite frame. Like, what kind of weight do you want?
4'6". I'm the same height as you, Darren.
4'6", exactly.
Don't act like you're taller than me.
What you're kind of lucky, Elyott, because being 4'6", if you even gain 15 pounds, you don't look like a big old fatty.
Yeah.
No, it's one of the problems of being shorter, I guess. Distributes funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're beautiful the way you are. Don't change, Thanks. But like change, you know?
Thanks, Nash.
Like get more jacked is what Nash is saying.
Yeah.
I'll try my best. I wish my face looked more jacked. Like I wish I had more man-like features. You know what I mean?
Like a jawline?
Like anything line. Like a line. Just a line on my face. Crow's feet. I'll take more crow's feet. Because I'm starting to go gray. Like I got a few gray hairs, and like I'm gonna look like the weirdest person of all time. Like
Benjamin Button.
Is that the only reason? Is that the reason you don't shave? Like you're like, if I at least have some fluff on my face, I'm not gonna get.
No, I don't shave because I think it looks okay. I think it looks okay.
Mm-hmm.
It looks alright.
It's good.
It's not like bad. It's not like I think it improves my face.
Yeah. Okay.
It improves. Does it improve my face or not? Come on. Tell me. Be honest. Be honest right now.
It's there for sure. It's probably would be worse without it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It improves my face.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
I'm also just lazy. I don't like shaving. I don't like the feeling after you shave, like a close shave, and then your face just hurts.
I'm the opposite.
Why did I do this?
I love the act of shaving, but then I see it and I'm like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
I don't like.
When's the last time you shaved, Darren?
Oh man, like 97, I think.
What's your number? What's the number to get you to do that? How much money?
How many watermelons does Nash have to squeeze?
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. I would.
I don't think he'd be allowed on the podcast if he shaved.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd be.
I'd do it for $20. Times are tough.
Some mushrooms.
I usually
some mushrooms.
That's right. Yeah, a seventh of mushrooms, an eighth. I'll do it. I think I will shave, but I'm sort of the same as you, Nash. Like I have shaved a few times sporadically in the last 20 years, but I grow back the beard immediately. Like you shave and do that kind of like turn.
Do you have like a big tan, like a big beard tan line?
No.
I feel like,
it's like when it's gotten big like this before, and then you go, oh man, I'm gonna just trim it up, and you shave it, and it's amazing. It just is like 4 or 5 scraggly hairs, but the beard is like looks this big, but there's a surprising small amount. Like I think it would be enough to stuff a pillow and make a human hair pillow, but no, I'm still working on that pillow.
Well, maybe we can work something out where if I can crush 5 watermelons, you shave or something.
Okay. I'm down for that. Elyott, what was Elyott?
What's my challenge?
Elliott's gonna put on 10 pounds.
You have to watch it.
That's the hardest of all the challenges, to me putting 10 pounds on.
You have to not throw up. Yeah.
To eat, well, you could put it just straight chicken breast. And there's a lot of chickpeas and chicken breast. You just.
I can't eat chickpeas, but I eat a lot of chicken. I eat some. I'm a.
You can't eat chickpeas?
What do you do without hummus in your life?
You definitely seem like you look like you eat hummus. Don't lie to us.
No, I don't eat hummus. That's nice.
Okay, so I'm gonna crush 3 watermelons.
And I'm gonna eat some
How many?
chickpeas.
30?
3. 33. No, just 3.
All right,
Cool.
gentlemen.
Okay, well, I feel like it's ending.